Well, buckle up. I guess that's what Donald Trump said after the verdict was read yesterday afternoon. And buckle up, I think, is what we all need to be concentrating on right now. We used the opportunity after that verdict was read to run a drill here at our house to make sure that we could stage our property safely and securely in a least amount of time. And you know what? We need some practice. But let me get into some detail right after the intro. I was absolutely convinced that we would see in today's headlines that there was all kinds of violence, that there would be protests, that there would be rock throwing, that there would be uh, cars lit on fire, there would be people taking over uh, dormitories or student union buildings on college campuses. But you know what? I'm not seeing that there was that kind of reaction. Now, if the verdict had gone the other way and he was absolved of guilt in any fashion and he was acquitted, then then I guess that probability really did exist. But what I'm seeing right now is a call to conservatives to be um, quiet, to be faithful, to be reasonable, to be adults, to stay away from all kinds of nasty things that could give the conservative movement a bad name. And I think that's probably wise advice. Donald Trump hasn't really come out and said anything but buckle up. And what he meant by that is it's time for him to launch his Real for Real campaign. And being a convicted felon, that's the label that the left wants to put and the liberals want to put on Donald Trump, that he's a convicted felon now and you shouldn't vote for him. I can hardly wait to see what the White House has got to say about this. They indicated that they would say something, probably today, about how they feel or what they're thinking and all that. I can hardly wait to hear what kind of nonsense is going on there. We spent a little bit of time um, yesterday looking at the left wing news sites. And aside from most of the MSNBC pundits out there patting themselves on the back and saying it's well deserved, the jury did a great job. Uh, that the one fella said that he had a man crush on the judge in the case. Um, but while they were patting themselves on the back, they're watching their popularity swirl down the toilet just like that. I don't think the Democrats have a chance this fall. And while the main talking point right now is that the real verdict is going to come on November 5th. That's the day we all get to go vote. And while that's kind of an interesting talking point, I think it's incumbent on all of us as conservatives that believe in the justice system to hold on, wait for the next step. And Trump hasn't played his card yet on what that next step is going to be. His legal team has been fairly quiet. Uh, even a number of folks are calling for Trump to fire his entire legal team. I don't think that's the right way to go right now. I think he's got a capable legal team, and he was up against the Mother Teresa can't beat this rap odds. Um, and I think that the bottom line is that conservatives need to be adults, continue to advocate for our conservative morals, ethics, and principles, to remind the left what it's like living in today's uh, Bidenomics world where our food prices are probably 20 or 22% higher than they were 3.5 years ago, that our gasoline prices are out of control, that mortgage rates are going crazy. The housing market is right on the edge again right now because of the inflated prices and because of the higher interest rates. And right now, it doesn't look like the stock market has reacted in any kind of a negative fashion to this decision. And I kind of thought in the back of my mind that that would be um, the first shoe to drop. There would be 1,000 point drop in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, but I'm not seeing that that's happening right now. In fact, I just looked before I started filming this, and it looks like the Dow is at least even, if not a couple of points up. We'll see by the end of the day. This is the last trading day of May, and there's usually some profit taking on the last day of the month so that folks are enriched in their 401ks and IRAs and 403bs. Um, that's kind of typical for the last day of a month. But with this verdict being read, I expected that the Dow would do some crazy things today. But I'm not seeing it. I don't see the violence in the streets. And we used the opportunity yesterday to try to make ourselves ready just in case. And that meant putting up the last couple of panels of our blackout curtains to make sure that we knew where they were and how they went up and how it was going to look, knowing where our self-defense pieces were and that they were staged properly, and had a couple of lessons learned there that we need to be a little bit more aware of here in our house. I want to make sure that when the unclean hordes decide that they're going to descend on the homes of targeted conservatives, and I'm one of them. I'm on a number of lists that I'm aware of, that I just want to make sure that my home is as secure as it's possible and that I know where everything that I need to have, I know exactly where it is, how to get it deployed immediately so that I can defend my wife, myself, and my property. And I encourage you all to do the same thing. Take a good hard look at your home defense situation and take a look at what you've got, where it's staged, where your flashlights are, where your sidearms are, where anything that you may need to defend yourself and your property and your family, that you know exactly where it is and that you've practiced with it, that you've made adjustments that you need to make where you have staged all this kind of stuff. And this morning, um, I felt pretty darn confident that the lesson is being learned because I'm not seeing that there are widespread reports of any kind of violence, nothing. So I think the conservatives are acting like adults. I can't imagine exactly what it would have been like to watch um, if the verdict had come out with a full acquittal on Donald Trump, how many cities would be burning right now because the left would just go crazy. And you know, as I look around and try to compare things, I'd much rather be in the position that I am right now, being as prepared as we can be with our food, water, means of home defense, means of self defense, And by God, I'm glad I'm a prepper. I hope you are too. And if you found this video to be somewhat helpful, thought provoking, please give us a thumbs up, share it where you can, and remember, be prepared always. And I'll see y'all on the next video.